help prevent and it would help prevent so many diseases. And I thought it was just something so simple that anybody could do. We all have shoes that are a little bit too dirty or this or that we're never going to wear again. So I thought it was just something simple. So I called her and I was like, look, you're a tree hugging liberal. Come help me with this. I hardly have feelings at this point in time. Like, come help me with this. And she's like, I'm just doing this nonprofit, right? Within 4 months, I had already bought a ring at that point in time. But, you know, the reason I tell you that is because this was about the midst that I had lost everything, right? I had went from the top of the top at 27 years old to, I remember when I took her out to coffee to talk about this nonprofit, my card being declined for $4.98. So the pain, the shame, the embarrassment that I felt was something that I never wanted to do again. And so this is where, you know, I tell that story because I think we can all relate to a time that we had problems paying a bill, right? Where's this money going to come from, right? And it adds a lot of stress. Real estate is the most lucrative thing that I can help somebody do right out of high school, right out of college, transferring to make more than doctors, more than attorneys. There is no cap in what we can do, and which is why I love doing it, right? So I got into real estate. I was a big Mike Ferry agent, you know, and so I would prospect for 3 hours a day. I was young and dumb at that point in time, and my mentors were doing 100 transactions a year. I was like, guys, I want to do 100 transactions a year. They were like, great. I was like, what do I do? They were like, you need to call 50 people a day. I was like, great. Where's the list? Here's the list. What do I say? Right. And I was very coachable. I wrestled in high school and college. Right. So like when my coaches told me something, I did it. And so what I found myself was like I was very coachable and trainable, but I would just follow the plan that they gave me. And here's the thing. I don't care what your plan is. If you follow it, it will work. Success is not sexy, guys. It is consistent. And so I would follow that plan. And here's the thing. I had 15, 20 listings. I was the top listing agent in my office. Also the youngest agent in my office. But when the market started crashing, nothing was selling. So I wasn't making any money, right? So I had all of these listings, all these signs in the yard and all of this, and I wasn't making any money. Now, sometimes life happens for you and not to you. At least that is my belief, right? I think there's lessons because I would not be where I'm at now with all of those lessons that I had to learn to be where I'm at today. And so my company was acquired. You guys are in Northern California, Antero Real Estate, yes? So I opened up, like Gino came out, like I opened up one of the first, actually the first and only Antero office out of Arizona. And then like shortly after, you know, Gino was like, nah, like it's not working too well. And there was an offer to buy that Antero office by auction.com. Now, for those of you that know auction.com, it is the largest auction house in the country. And guess what? They were selling foreclosures. What was prevalent in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 was REO and foreclosed listings, right? So I had an opportunity to take over that office at the age of 27, 28. And we grew up to about 30 agents or so, but they realized early on, the same as a lot of small independent brokerages are right now, that just because they opened up a brokerage didn't mean they made more money. They had liability, they had overhead, they had compliance, they had all of these other things that were stacking up at this point in time. And so they came about a year and a half later and they were like, look, it's been fun, but we're going to shut this office down. And it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me because I kept all of those relationships with the heads of banks, asset management companies, etc. And so I started shopping around. I had 30 agents. We had all of this business. And I ended up going to Keller Williams because they gave me anything that I wanted. I did not have a split. I did not have a cap. They actually gave me their conference room as an office because they wanted me so bad. They were like, I was like, man, well, this conference room would be really good for my office. I could put offices. They were like, is that what it's going to take? I was like, yes. They gave me free admin, right? And they rolled out the red carpet. It was so much better than me opening up my own brokerage at that point in time. And they did that because I had about 30 agents that came with me, and my personal team was doing over 300 deals a year at that point in time. So we were cashing a check every single day. We were having a lot of fun. For those of you that have been at Keller Williams, I went through Recruit Select. I had the job offered to be the team leader at the largest KW in the Southwest, down in Ahwatukee at that point in time. And right about that time, I got a call from the same people that recruited me to auction.com. And they were like, Larry, we're starting this new company. Why don't you come help us on the real estate side of things? And I was like, guys, I'm so happy. Why would I do that? And they were like, Larry, would you be happier with 500 more listings next year? And I was like, shit, I would be so much happier. Where do I sign up at this point in time? Because I joined a company called Carrington Real Estate Services. They owned 17 different companies, including their own mortgage, lending, title, escrow, property preservation, asset management, which is the one that passes out all of these REO listings, right? And so, look, and I had a lot of trust because I'd been with these guys in the past. They got me into the business. And so for 8 years, I joined Carrington as their head of business development and their regional director of growth. And we grew from 200 agents to 3,000 agents just around foreclosed properties. Now, we couldn't do anything else very well. Like our traditional sales sucked. Our agents weren't very good. We didn't have this gleaming reputation, but damn, we had a lot of relationships and we moved a lot of properties. There was I remember one month, we closed 1,800 properties in 1 month. That was one of our records and stuff there. So we were printing money. And then after 8 years, I had the opportunity to go work with my largest client. I was carrying with one client over 2,000 listings with just one client. That was Zone, Mr. Cooper, Nation Star. They were just bought by Rocket Mortgage. And so I went to build out their referral network. We bought ForSaleByOwner.com as a lead generation system at that point in time. And I was also, when I divorced from Carrington, I was dead set that I was not going to keep my license there. Because, when we parted ways, they had a 3,000 person brokerage and I got a $25,000 severance package. And I vowed at that time that I would never build somebody else's business over mine again. And so at that point, every asset management company called me and they were like, Larry, why don't you come build up our brokerage? And I was like, no, but what I started doing was consulting with a lot of these companies. I knew the roadblocks and stuff that they were going to go into. And along that time, I was also coaching and training for Tom Ferry. He's a good friend of mine. We have investments together. I coached and trained for him for about 8 years. And so I was sitting there and we were big on video at the Tom Ferry organization. Like we were big on video before video was even out, right? Before video calls and messages and all of this stuff. And so I had been trained on video. So I sent out a video to all of my leadership. And I was like, hey guys, it has been such an honor to go down this path and stuff with you, but my time here is done. And if we can ever do something in the future, reach out to me. And I got a call from Jerry Stapp, and he was on vacation and in Maui, Hawaii, actually. And immediately I get a call from him. I was like, Jerry, you didn't have to call me on vacation, man. He's like, Larry, I was sitting on the beaches of Maui. I was praying to God to give me some sort of a sign, and I got your video. And I'm like, Jerry, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's like, you gotta look at this company. I was like, okay. And he started explaining. I was like, Jerry, I've been at KW. I've seen profit share. I took 30 agents and my largest profit share was $238 at that point in time. Right? I was like, it's not worth it. He's like, no, it's different. He's like, Larry, will you watch a video for me? I was like, sure, man, I'll watch a video for you. He sent me like an hour and 15-minute video that I begrudgingly sat through and watched the whole thing. I think I was bitter and mad the whole damn time. Right. And I was like, look, Jerry, it's fine, right? Like it's fine. Like I've never heard of this company. The model seems fine, the split and this. He's like, Larry, well, you talk to some people. Right. And this is where the introduction comes into play. Right. And so I remember I got on a phone call with Gene Frederick and Bob Mangold, right? Or who are two alphas, two alphas. They had very large organizations and stuff like that. And they were like, where do you live, Larry? And I was like, I live in Houston, Texas at this point in time. He's like, no, you don't. I was like, I promise you, I live in Houston, Texas. He's like, I'm going to be there tomorrow speaking. I was like, well, that's a coincidence, right? And again, this is one of those opportunities, right? One of these forks in the road where I feel like life happened to me and not for me. And so I remember I went out to dinner with Scott and Tracy Lewis at that time, and Bob Mantle. And I remember Tracy like pulling out a piece of paper and showing it to me. And it was a printed check that said $17,000 on it. And I was like, she's like, look at this, Larry. I was like, what is this? She's like, that's my revenue share check from last month. I was like, no shit. Like, that's real money, right? And so, I went out there. And so I kind of had this attitude like, look, I'm not going to leave my license at Carrington. And I'll give it a try. But you also got to think I'm working for a corporation at this point. So I was essentially a secret agent. Like I had to love everybody because I was selling memberships to get REO properties to Coldwell Banker and Keller Williams and everybody else. So I didn't have EXP on my Facebook pages or this or that or anything else. And so the first year I just told like some of my really close people, right? I think I told 8 people and they saw the model. And I think in the first year that 8 people, because I had a lot of top producers and stuff like that, grew to like 32 people. And so my first year, I made $26,000 in revenue share. And I was like, that really works, right? It's not enough for me to stop working or anything like that. And so the second year, I did a little bit more, right? And I brought on another 8 agents, right? Less than 1 per month at this point in time. And it had grown to like 72 people. And I made $60,000 in revenue share. And I was like, man, this could really work, guys, right? Like I was still a little skeptical at this point in time. And then my third year, any of you guys been to Brent Gove's, what's the one that we went to in Cabo, Clarke? The fire below, the fire within.
One Big Fire.
One Big Fire. Sorry. Yes. So I went to the first One Big Fire down in Mexico, right? And my wife is sitting there with me. Now you got to think this is the love of my life. She is my ride or die, right? And in our house, accountability is the greatest form of love. And so we are sitting there. And if you guys know some of these other players, like Brett Conley, like Tom Trong, anybody know the name Russ Lagan?
Yep.
So I had actually recruited and acquired their companies to Carrington Real Estate Services. And they did not join with me at EXP. Do you know why? Because I didn't talk to them about it. That's an expensive lesson. Tom Trong has over 1,400 people in his organization, right? Like Russ Lagan's group. I mean, he was the head of growth for a while. Now he's education and stuff like that. Britt Conley has 1,400. Those are very expensive lessons that I don't want anybody else to learn. Yeah. And they would have talked to, they talked to other people. They would have surely talked to me. I had bought their companies at previous things. And so here's the thing. A lot of those people were on stage talking about how revenue share changed their life. And my wife looks at me and she's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, why are you playing so small? Ooh, like that hurt, right? Coming from the love of your life. And so part of it was my wife was a stay-at-home mom. You know, we had two young kids. I was working a corporate job. I was hustling flips. I was selling some REOs and stuff on the side. And my attention was very I was a jack of all trades and a master of none. So nothing got the results that I was pouring into because I was spread too thin. And so I told her this. She's like, that's what's holding you back. I was like, I don't have time to do anything else. So she's like, all right. She had had her license back in Las Vegas and was a top producer over there. She's like, I'll get my license. I'll start producing and you focus on this. And so we went on that path. And so that next year, I went from about 72 agents to 150 agents. We went from 150 agents to 400 agents, and then went from 400 agents to around 600 agents in 2020. And I thought this trajectory was going to keep going. And here's the thing, guys. 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, I still had about 600 agents. Now, I don't want you to feel bad for me, right? It was over $200,000 a year in passive income every single year, right? It was life-changing. But how many of you guys are high Ds? How many of you guys have goals, ambitions? And to me, like if you are not growing, like I was dying inside. I felt like I was failing every single day because I would add 5, I would lose 10. I would add 10, I would lose 5. It was this constant rotation. Anybody know what happened in September of 2025? Somebody put in the chat or unmute your mic. Anybody know what EXP did specifically? Co-sponsorship came out and it changed the game for me because I no longer had to compete with the Joshua Smiths, with the Mike Sherrards, with the Jay Kinders, with the Brent Goves. I could partner with them now. That changed everything. But here's the thing. I dated a lot of potential suitors for co-sponsors because in my organization, guys, like we built to 600, which is a phenomenal organization. I have 12 asset management companies within my group. 12. We passed out over 3,000 REO listings last year alone when there's not supposed to be REOs. Do you know what's going to happen to my group as we start to go into a downward market? And that's not an if statement, that's a when statement to me. We've been going up since 2009, which is way too long. Our average cycle is 8 to 12 years. And I felt like we should have had a market correction during COVID, but we turned on this printing press and sent inflation through the roof, sent every asset class through the roof, and we kicked the can down the street. So now we're sitting in an area where consumer debt's at an all-time high. Auto default loans are at an all-time high. The bond yield curve is inverted, and the bond yield curve has predicted every recession it has never missed in the last 70 years. So I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know if it's 6 months, but what you are starting to see is the number of foreclosure filings and stuff going up. Right during COVID, you could literally call and say, man, I'm in sales. I'm having a hard time. They'd be like, stop. Would it help if you didn't have to pay your mortgage for the next year? Oh, that'd be great. And you could call back and do that again. And I think 3 times was about the max that they would let you do that. So the argument to me that of agents that are like, oh, Larry, that won't happen again. Everybody has equity. Not if you like basically didn't pay a payment and that just got tacked on over and over and over, right? Like you guys are in California. Like what's your guys' average price point out there? Right? Maybe $1 million, 900,000.
I think it's 750 overall.
750. What's a mortgage payment on 750?
Probably about 6,000.
So you start compounding $6,000, And that could be like a starter home over in your guys' area. Guys, last year I passed out 3 REO properties in the same street of San Jose that were $4 million a piece. My largest REO ever was $6.5 million that we sent out over there in San Francisco. But you start stacking that up, $6,000, that's $72,000 a year, plus interest compounding. Let's call it an even 100 at this point in time. That starts sucking up that equity really quick. So regardless, right, like short sales are going to be the next wave. Like every default conference that I speak at, like that is the next wave. We're not going to get too far down that rabbit hole because this is about agent attraction and growth. But here's the thing. You attract people by adding value to them. That's how I grew my organization to 600 agents. But they're mostly REO agents, right? And so the hard part with REO was that I couldn't predict it. I couldn't say, Diamond, I got 1 listing, I got 5 listings, I'm going to have 50 listings. I couldn't predict it. So that's when co-sponsorship, I was like, oh, this is where I could complete our puzzle. So I started dating different groups and organizations because I knew the value that I added and what the value was going to be in the future. But who is going to be able to help me out right now? And that's where, any of you guys know the name Jay Kinder? So he's now a good friend of mine. I used to have the biggest chip on my shoulder with Jay, and it was mostly my ego because I lost, right? He was literally 10 times the size of my group. I would go up against people and they're like, yeah, but I'm going to go with this. And I was like, what is this? And so Jay, when co-sponsorship came out, we were sitting at a top producers mastermind. And he was like, Larry, I think this would be really good for you. Right. And I was like, what is it, Jay? What kind of leads are these? Are they good leads? Are they trash? And he's like, I was like, I can't go to my group and run this by it if it doesn't work, Jay. And so what I did before I tell anybody to do it is I tested myself. And so I got on Jay's funnel pilot program for about 30 days. And in the first 30 days of me testing it, we produced 103 registered buyer leads. 7 of those went to my lender and 4 were fully pre-qualified. And I went back to my group and I was like, guys, this will work. I can change anybody's business just like this at this point in time. And so I was one of the first people to jump in, partner with Jay. And now we have just built that muscle over and over and over again to where we have this system down so well. And what I teach agents to do, I helped Jay create the apprentice program. And they've done an amazing job, which all of you guys have access to and stuff as well. But in my group, I remember when I told you that success isn't sexy, it's consistent. That is it. I don't need somebody to reach out to 100 people in one day. You're never going to be able to do the follow-up. I don't need to create another separate job for you because this is a slow burn, right? Just because you bring somebody in, you don't get a paycheck the next month. We have to close deals. It's a 90-day ramp-up period. There's all of these things. And you will get to a point of burnout really fast. So what we teach is that you reach out to 5 people a day. And we say, Christy, I know that we didn't have anything on the schedule, and I don't want to take up too much of your time right now, but I have an opportunity for you to test this funnel pilot system. The results are blowing me away, Christy. Agents are producing between 2 and 6 registered buyer leads a day, and they need more people to test it in the Sacramento area. Now, I don't have all of the details, and I don't want to murder it, but we're hosting this live call this Thursday, going through the details, what it takes, the different options, what tech stack and stuff do you need? Do you think that would be worth it if I could get you registered? Would you want me to do that so you could take a look and see if it's a good fit for you? That's it. Could you reach out to 5 people a day and say that? And if you did, how many people do you think would show up? Because here's the cadence that we teach, right? We reach out to 5 people a day with that script or something similar. This is the opportunity. These are the results that it's producing. And this is where we're explaining it. You fill in those 3 blanks so it feels comfortable to you. So it doesn't sound like you're feeding it off of a piece of paper. right? And the more you say that, the more fluid it gets. And so we reach out to 5 people a day. And on Wednesday afternoons, we reach out and we say, Christy, oh my gosh, I am so excited for you to look at this. Like, I have this guy down in Mobile, Alabama. He's been using this since January, has over 900 leads being incubated. He has closed 7 deals, taken 2 listings, and has another 3 buyers he's actively working right now. I just wanted to confirm you had it on your calendar. Yep, got it, Larry. Great. Oh, by the way, can we get like 5 or 10 minutes afterwards or tomorrow? Because I want to compare notes. I want to see your thoughts on it. And if you want to get going with it, I want to help get you fast tracked. That's when you're going to get the objections. Because think about it. It's almost like Fight Club. How many times have I talked about EXP at this point in time? Right? Like, we do not. I can tell when I script and role play with people, well, they don't want to come to EXP. I'm like, you didn't follow the script. You had one job. This is a team, right? And if like I just got back from football practice because you know, it's 8:30 over here at my time. And so we just got back from football practice here in Texas, which is kind of a big deal, right? And my son's team has been undefeated for 6 years, and he's 12 years old at this point in time. They're savage, right? Like, teams hate us and everything else, but it's a really fun experience as a parent. And you know, so it's a little bit later and stuff over here, and I totally lost my train of thought. I was trying to like ad lib and stuff until I remembered it. But what was I saying? Oh, this is what I was saying. Sorry. So like, there's no risk on the front side of things, right? For this, but the objections will come up on that 3-way call. This is where everybody has a job. Your job is to invite 5 people and confirm they're going to be there and set a follow-up call. If you just did that, you would get on that follow-up call and people would be like, hold on. If I join you, I get all this? Yep. Okay. We get that all the time. But that's also where you're going to get, well, I like my broker. Well, I don't want to move. Well, this, well, that. Oh my gosh. Let me see if Larry has some time available. He said there's multiple options to be able to work with this. Let me see it. And I have cleared my entire Friday to convert those hot leads because I'm not going to sell EXP. I'm going to discover where their pain points are in their business. And now I'm going to start value stacking. I'm going to start value stacking with Funnel Pilot, REO listings. I just brought in a military network called Hero Stars that I'm so excited to launch and stuff at this point in time. Like, we have Fast Cap, right? We have like, I have morning huddles every day. We have Friday agents helping agents, mastermind calls, etc. I'm going to start value stacking. And I'm going to be like, Christy, where did you say you were again? Okay. And how much business have they driven to you since you've been there? Oh, no. Really? Could I introduce you to Katrina Wynn? Like, I think we gave her 40 listings last year. Like, Christy, what would your business look like if you had an extra 40 listings? How much do you like your broker? Right? Like, because here's the thing, when you know the problem, you can create the solution. Most people are trying to sell things out there. I'm trying to solve problems, and you will be compensated by the more problems that you solve for other people. And so that's all we're doing. And guys, I can tell you, if you follow that process and we do more business, for every 8 people that show up to that webinar, 1 to 2 will sign within the next 30 days. I have Amanda Barber in my group. I've been working with her for nine weeks now. When she came to me, she had 1 agent in her group. 1 agent in her group. And 9 weeks later, she has 22 agents. That the numbers tell me that what we're doing is working. The other part is, right? In September of 2009, right? Or I'm sorry, September of 2025 last year, I had 609 agents. Guys, the numbers are telling me that this is working. 1,041 in my organization. Like, the numbers are telling me. The leaderboard tells me that what we're doing is working. And so this is where I told Clarke, like, co-sponsorship makes this all possible. Now, worst case scenario, you guys take a couple of things from this and you go back and implement it into your business. That's worst case scenario. Like, if you guys, like some of you guys are already a part of the apprentice program that I heard, right? There's a couple of things, right? If you email Clarke, like, you guys are welcome to join my accountability calls. They're earlier time, right? I do them at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're 15 to 20 minutes, but we're talking about the wins. We're talking about what's working. We're saying, oh, we just tried this script and it worked. Hey, guys, do this. Hey, I just found this fishing hole and it worked really good, right? Mm-hmm. Like, those are the wins that we're sharing. You guys are welcome to that if you're already in. If you guys want to become part of the apprentice group, right? Email Clarke, right? Like, we can get you in. I'm happy to help you guys grow. I would just love to be involved with it some way, shape, or form. I don't need to be involved with everybody, right? But like, the numbers are telling me that we're doing kind of a good job with this at this point in time. So, but that's only because we follow the plan. Oh, this was the thought that I forgot a little while ago about the football team, right? On the football team, everybody has a different job. My son is a running back, and he has a very specific job because, like, he's thick, right? Like, his legs are like tree trunks. And so he is like 4 to 8 yards every single time. He has other people that are some of the fastest kids in Texas on his team. They have different, the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, the linemen, they all have other jobs. If we do this, your job as an apprentice is to invite 5 people a day. You use that simple script, you follow up, and then you set a 3-way call. And I guarantee you we will grow together.
That's right.
And this is where co-sponsorship makes it possible, where nobody has to lose at this point in time. We just got to figure out, like, what does that actually look like? And here's the thing: I don't need you guys to do too much of that. This, let me just share this with you, because it gets a little bit confusing sometimes. And so, like, this is my map here of everybody, and so you can see all of this is part of my organization. Everybody that has a green box here are all co-sponsored with Jay Kinder. You can see I've co-sponsored over 200 people with Jay Kinder since we started this together, right? So now these are all placeholders for me. I know that everybody underneath this green box gets access to Funnel Pilot. I know everybody that comes in underneath Eric Bengal, Darren Cottrell, all get access to REOs, right? I know, like, this is where the military network is coming in, right? So again, these are all placeholders to solve agents' problems. I don't need to give all of those tools to one agent. Most of them don't even know what an REO is. Why do I need to tell them, like, get them into an REO network? They're going to, like, they don't want to do a cash for keys and eviction, like deal with a squatter or something like that, right? Like, this is where we have the answers to solutions and stuff that come across. So a couple of things, guys. One, like, we host a lot of educational events and stuff like that. Use those to attract people, get people involved. If somebody shows up and they say no, stay in touch with them. The fortune is in the follow-up. Right. I have agents that I've been in touch with for years that are coming over now. For years, right? But again, that consistent follow-up, if I want to work with you, it's a quarterly follow-up. Hey, how's it going? Let me show you this. Let me show you that, right? And so I would love to stay in touch with you guys. My handle on all social media channels is Larry MF White. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anything like that. And so that's where we post a lot of our different trainings and stuff like that. Guys, show up, invite other people to them. Like, this is where, like, I found collaboration over competition has changed the game for me. There's a way that everybody wins at this. I don't know what it is yet, right? So don't come to me with, well, Larry, how would this work and do this? Let's start with a person, right? Like, I don't need to work through these made up situations. Like my time is too valuable. Let's talk about an actual scenario, right?
Yeah.
What would that look like? How does it win? Well, like, look, it could go under, under the chosen, and then, I could be co-sponsor, and now it's under Brent Grove and Clarke and this, and then we can build like there's 50 different opportunities and stuff. You guys might be like, man, his voice was really annoying. I don't even want to work with that guy. Like, that's totally cool too. Like, my feelings will not get hurt at the end of the day. If you see value in it, I want you guys to get involved. So I would love to follow you, connect with you guys on social media. Again, if you guys want to be a part of our apprentice huddle and stuff like that, and you guys are already apprentices, like, man, I would love to bring you in. If you guys want to be a part of the apprentice program, reach out to Clarke. Clarke, this is where we can decide, right? Like,
Yep.
obviously on the leaderboard, like maybe they come into my and go through all of the things that we're doing. Maybe you like merge your group and stuff like that to follow our process. Again, time zones and stuff get a little funky and stuff, and I get that. But how bad do you want the financial freedom? We have a limited runway right now, right? More and more people will find out. Like when I started this, oh my gosh, it was like every cast we were pulling out a bat, like we were fishing, like everyone was like, it was catch and release. And then we started running into roadblocks, right? I got some people that got put in Facebook jail, right? Because they were messaging too many people. This is what you learn from the accountability groups. Don't spam 50 people a day. Like you will get put in Facebook jail, and then you'll be able to message 2 people a day. You can't even wish happy birthday to people at that point in time, right? So these are some of the things that you learn from the accountability groups and stuff there. Yes, and if I can add value to you guys in any other way, shape, or form, let me know. And like if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, please, like let me know. Where do you want to go from here?
Yeah. Anybody have any questions for Larry? And Larry, that was excellent. So appreciate it. And just total value added. And I know it's going to impact everybody on this. And looking forward to working with you in the future. And anybody have any questions for Larry?
Yeah, a lot.
Talk to me, Steve. Talk to me, man.
No, I think you'll need a 2-hour session there, Larry. I'll have to connect with you.
Well,
Yeah.
happy to help out however I can. Like, start joining on some of our calls. Again, we do a Friday wealth building mastermind call every Friday where we bring in a different speaker and stuff like that. This Friday is actually going to be Johnny Perez, that Hero Star Network, the military network that I was talking about. It's talking about that because he has a ton of opportunities in Southern California specifically at this point in time. So we'll be pushing that out and stuff like that. But get involved with me, right? Like this is where a lot of my time is spent on groups and three-way calls and this and that, but show up to the accountability calls and things like that. And that's how you get some of my time and stuff there for sure. But guys, this is feasible for anybody. And what I'm so excited, like Amanda Barber, that has 22 people in 9 weeks. That is more than me. That's more than Jay Kinder had. That's more than Brent Gove had, right? Like that's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is what this could be. But she was coachable, trainable, and she followed the plan. She didn't deviate. Don't make the script cute, right? Like, again, unless you want to go and figure out something that works better, like follow what's working. We will pivot when it's time to, I promise you. Like Jay, Brent, myself, we're evaluating this every single week, making tweaks, adjustments to continue to improve it and make it better and better and better. And that's where we're just kind of staying ahead of the curve at this point in time.
Great. Awesome.
I mean, Steve didn't really have a question. Is there one question you want to ask, Steve?
Well, I don't think so.
Larry, no, sorry, I had to take it off mute. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, I would say, where are you located, Larry, exactly?
Yeah, so I'm licensed Arizona, California, Nevada, and I live in Houston, Texas.
Oh, Houston, Texas. I'm in escrow on a property in Princeton, Texas.
Okay.
Okay. But
Yeah,
anyway, thank you for that. I'm looking forward to chatting with you offline.
absolutely. Deborah, did you have something?
Yeah, well, I'm in Houston also. Are you going to be at Build next week in Dallas?
I just found out about this from Clarke today.
Hmm.
What day is that on?
It's Friday and Saturday of next week.
Friday and Saturday of next week. Let me see if I can swing that. I did not have that on the calendar, but I have a pretty big group and stuff up there in Dallas. So let me see if I can swing that.
If you are, after I'd love to connect with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and Brent's going to be one of the speakers there too, along with Albie. Albie will be there. Yeah, they
Yes,
have
love
a
it.
great lineup. Tony King. I mean, a lot of great speakers there.
Perfect.
Awesome. Again, appreciate it, Larry. And again, thanks for investing in time, taking time out of your evening to really sow into our business and help us. And that's what it's all about. I love the collaboration. My very first event I went to was an EXP Con. I couldn't believe the collaboration. I've had my license since 1977, and I've never seen anything like it. And that just it just totally lit me up. And I've known Brent since he was 19, so just reconnected with him and. This has been an awesome, awesome journey, and we're just beginning. This is just the beginning of it. As we go from almost 90,000 agents to 250,000 agents over the next 5, 10 years, we'll be the largest. And the reason for that, I was on a conference call with Gene Fredericks earlier, and the reason for that is because we are the best for the agents. We are absolutely the best for the agents, and it's going to grow like crazy because of that. The word will get out there, and I believe the funnel pilot is going to be a main driver to that. I know that Jay has some huge goals, and not along with Brent, and we're all working together as a cohesive team, which is really awesome. And I'm going to just share my screen for a moment, just give you a little glimpse of upcoming events. And let me just log on here, get my screen. Great. Awesome. Everybody see that okay? Let me make sure I got it right here. Right display. There we go. Okay. So I'm just take a couple minutes and again, Larry, appreciate it and welcome to stay on. And but anyway, so very important. I mean, why are we doing this? I mean, why everything starts with why. If you ever read the book by Simon Sinek, everything starts with why. All of us are visual. I just really encourage you, if you haven't already done it, develop a vision board. I'm looking at mine on the other side of my computer. I look at it every single day. Reminds me what I'm doing. That's it. Yeah, exactly. So powerful. And the next wave is coming. We're going to catch this wave. It's just a swell in the ocean right now. Out there a few miles, and the time to paddle is right now. Because when the wave hits, you want to paddle on into shore, ride the crest of the largest wave of growth that we'll see in this business for the future. And just a reminder, very simple, just 3 levels, 10 who help 10 who help 5, and a 674,000 a year. If everybody capped, just an example. And as we talked about the apprenticeship program, I'm not going to go through all the details here. One of the things I recommend, if you're not an apprentice already, and I'm going to have Jay just share this in just a second here.
Well, AI did it again. How about you want another let's get our mind blown by AI moment? So but check this out. If you thought AI was fantastic and just game changing and all the things that, many times we run into it once a day, well, let me show you this. Has anybody showed you how to add 2 to 3 deals a month consistently, as many as you want actually to your business without you having to do any techie stuff? No? Nobody showed you that one yet? All right. I'll show it to you. I do this presentation once a week live, and it changes every week. So it gets better every week. So check it out. There's a link to jump on, stop paying the real estate tax to all these companies you're paying for deals. I'm going to put you on game, and you're going to be in control of your business. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. So check it out. I can't wait to show it to you. And congratulations. You made it finally. You figured it out. There's finally a better way.
So this is the link If you're not already an apprentice, this is a link that you can go on and register for the live call. It's 10 a.m. this Thursday. It's every Thursday at 10 a.m. I recommend to really get a sense of the whole program. I recommend to log on, check it all out, ask questions. If it's something you want to use to build your revenue share organization, let me know. We'll set you up on the apprenticeship program. It's a very simple process, a little bit of training behind it. And this is, of course, the Funnel Pilot group call every Thursday. It's an hour to hour and a half. He goes through everything. And he goes through and introduces you to the whole implementation team. And there's Q&A afterwards if you want to stay on for that. This is a link where Jay explains the whole thing on the Now Nation Zoom. That was a few weeks ago. If you notice Courtney Twist on there, we just had her on our Zoom. She kind of hosted that call. These are the results. 50% of the people you talk to register, 50% of the people who register get on, and 50% of the people that actually watch the whole live call usually join us within the next 30 to 60 days. And what if it's just 30%? I've never seen a ratio like this in any kind of conversion business. With the apprentice, there's a fire service call every Monday morning. It goes from 7:30 to 8:30, and they go through. I mean, it's been it's like a huddle going and sharing all the aspects of it, and it's improving and getting better all the time. Of course, live call on Thursday. We also have an apprenticeship huddle, what we call our Accelerate team, an apprenticeship talk every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The next one is next Monday. You're welcome to jump on that. And we talk about the process, what to do, the steps on inviting people and following through with people. All that is contained on that meeting. And then we have, this is my attraction site. It has all the videos, Brent's videos, all the different videos on it. But here's the thing. We got several things coming up. The fastest way to change your life is to change who you're around every day. That's why the events are so important. Proximity, the most significant factor in changing your future. Who you spend your time with is who you become. Of course, by Tony Robbins. And so what is your goal for EXPCon? Do you have a goal set up? If you're building a rev share organization, this is a really good place to build event to event. And see, the business is a business that needs to be caught, not taught. Okay, get in the environment, get in the culture, see what it's all about. And these are the Builds event coming up. There's Dallas coming up next week. There's Denver at the end of the month. There's Vegas that's going on in November after EXPCon. And then I'm going to be in Southern California doing a lunch and learn where I'm going to go through the whole, a model explained. And then I'm going to doing a seminar afterwards, a workshop basically going through how to build an organization. I'm going to include Funnel Pilot, all sorts of other aspects to it. And that's on the 28th coming up. And then our next team huddle is going to be August 4th. And we have Beef Wellington. I love that name. Beef Wellington. It's one of my favorite meals, actually. But anyway, so he's going to be there. He's very entertaining. He does a lot of CE courses, really a great speaker and part of the driving force behind the Career Compass. And then monthly events. Here locally, we have Curtis Johnson coming in. We just had Jay Kinder. Incidentally, I recommend to go on Brent's site. If you haven't received the email with the link to the recording of Jay Kinder last Thursday, it's well worth watching. I mean, he goes through the whole program, what he went through, very transparent, what he went through all through his career in real estate. And he talks about rev share, he talks about, why. And it's one of the best talks I've ever seen. And that is recorded, and you should have got a link with it, also with the slide deck on it. And and then the 1% Club, you can pretty much plug into something every single day on Zoom. Not that you have to, but there's a lot of options. And we have the best support of any brokerage I've ever seen, even though we're virtual, but we're not really virtual. We're in person. And then the next inner circle will be August 18th. Speaker to be announced. I got a couple feelers out for some great speakers. And as we end, the wave is coming. Are you paddling? Are you doing what it takes? I believe over the next 6 to 12 to 18 months is that window of opportunity before the wave gets here. And just like what Larry was talking about, the window of opportunity is now. Take full advantage of it. And hey, This is our theme for our business, and that is let's go out and have a lot of fun, make a lot of money, and more importantly than anything else, make a huge difference in other people's lives. You know what? Passive income is a game changer. What if you had 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, 20,000 a month coming in? Guess what? You can do that here. And it doesn't, it's not rocket science. We have a pattern and a system behind every step of doing it. And anyway, that's it for the evening. And I went 1 minute over. Can you believe it? Just unbelievable. Anyway, so hey, we appreciate each and every one of you. So excited to be in business with each and every one of you. Let's go out and build something significant and huge together. So God bless. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Clarke.
Clarke. Outstanding.
Hey, you bet. My pleasure.
Outstanding. Larry White was awesome.
Yeah, incidentally, this is recorded. I'm going to send it over to Prince as soon as it processes. And so it'll come out in our newsletter. So you have a link to it. And we also post it on our VBU Inc. site. And so you'll get an opportunity to, have it there and be able to reference it anytime along with, everything he shared. So, again, so appreciate the collaboration in the business. I mean, Larry is not linked up to us. I mean, he's not in our group and we're not in his group. But guess what? With co-sponsoring, we can do a lot of things together and collaborate on the training and education and really build something significant. So,
Clarke, I want to just put in something. I've been around for some time, not as long as other people, but what's the greatest takeaway of this organization is that people share regardless of outcome.
yeah, we're not tied to the outcome for sure. Isn't that awesome? We believe that a rising tide raises all ships, and we all want to collaborate and help each other. It's our vibe. It's our whole vibe to the business. Incidentally, that's why, since we're all owners together, that's why it exists. Because we're all in this thing together. We own the company together. The better we all do, the better the company does, the better we all do. And we own it. I mean, Gene Frederick was sharing earlier, what company out there shares 50% off the top of their profits with the agents involved in the business? It doesn't exist. Yep. It doesn't exist anywhere. I mean, what a visionary Glenn Sanford was to put this together. I mean, it's just amazing. And we're so blessed to be a part of it. So anyway, I'm going to sign off.
Absolutely.
Dinner's ready for me. So
All
have
right.
a great evening. Great to
Thanks.
see everybody.
Have a good night.
All right. God bless everybody.